This is my Monkees album ranking video. I'm going to be ranking 13 studio albums. And just a reminder, next week I'm going to start on my Doors reviews. I'm going to be going through all their studio albums and the live albums of theirs that I have. This is the second time I've done them. I wasn't happy with my first videos, so I'm just redoing them. So yeah, this ranking was pretty easy at the bottom to pick the last couple albums. As I got into the middle, it was really hard to choose. And I kind of knew like what it was going to come down to for the top two albums, and kind of choosing which one of those was going to win was a little difficult, but I guess it was probably always going to go to the one it did go to. So 13th and last, I have the Monkees Christmas Party. I know I'm not into Christmas music. I don't think it's a bad album. I like a few of the tracks on here. Just not into Christmas music, and it just, I don't know, it seems like this, in my opinion, it seems like this only came out because Good Times did pretty well, and it just seems like they were trying to do that, but with less success and kind of less involvement from the guys. And I really kind of think that it being a Christmas album and having, at least in my opinion, seemingly less involvement from the Monkees other than like Mickey, really, is kind of what holds this one back. So number 12, I have Pull It, and not a whole lot to say about this one. It's just super 80s, and not all the songs are that great. The production's pretty bad. I still don't really think it's a horrible album. There's a few things on here I like, and like every now and then I'll listen to it, but not a great album. So number 11 is More of the Monkees, and I'm not going to say a whole lot about so number 11 is More of the Monkees, and I'm not going to say a whole lot about this one right now because it kind of, what I have to say about this one kind of goes into the next one. So number 10 is Monkees' debut album, and you know, for both this one and More of the Monkees, they're just not my favorite thing about the Monkees. I like them more when they get control of their music. I just think they're more interesting. I do think that there are some good, a lot of good songs on both of these albums. It's just like all the way through, I don't think they have the same quality as some of the later stuff. And I really just kind of don't listen to these two nearly as much as I listen to the stuff later after they got more control over their stuff. Really, like, I could probably switch the order of these two at any time, and kind of why I put them in the order I did really just comes down to the one horrible song on More of the Monkees. I can't even remember the name of it, that spoken word Davy thing. I think it's The Day We Fall in Love or something like that. That's so horrible that it knocked that album down below this album. Even though that album actually has some songs I like better than some of the songs on here. But it has that, so I put it there. Number 9, I have the Monkees Present, and this one, I don't know, I like a lot of the songs on it, really. It's just nothing on it really jumps out at me as much as some of the other albums. Like I don't think there's really any songs on here that would make like a Monkees top 10 of mine. Maybe Listen to the Band might come close. And then it has Ladies Aid Society, which is pretty bad, so that kind of drags it down a little bit, because really I don't think like any of their other or very many of their other albums before this have anything on it as bad as that, other than like More of the Monkees. So yeah, this one I like it. I think it's a good album. Just never, or hasn't really become one of my favorites yet. It's probably my least listened to, other than the first two albums of like their original run. And number 8, I have Head, and really this one like I would have liked to put higher. Because the songs that are on it are really great. It's just that there's a lot of stuff on it that's not music. There's a lot of like chants and like them talking and stuff from the movies, and I do like that, and I like the album that it creates overall. But it's just an album that, because of all that stuff, like I kind of at least have to be in a certain mood to listen to this. Like I gotta feel like listening to something weird. If I just want to listen to a Monkees album, a lot of times this isn't the one I'm reaching for, so that's kind of why it goes here. But that said, the songs that are on here are really great. Number 7, I have Just Us. I mean, I think my opinion of this album is a lot better than most people's. It's one of those albums that, like, when I listen to it, I can get why people don't like it. Like, it's not, I'm not like confused as to why this album isn't more popular. But that said, I do enjoy it. I I don't know. I like hearing them play all their own stuff. I like the songs that they've written for it for the most part. There's really only like one song on here that I'm not crazy about. Runaway from Life, and even that one, like, I don't hate that song to like the level of like Ladies Aid Society or something like that. So it's not like a song I really have a huge problem with. It's just there's certain parts of it that I don't like. So yeah, I don't know. To me, this is just a really interesting album. I listen to it quite a bit and really enjoy it. Number 8, I have Instant Replay, and yeah, this is an album where I really like it a lot. I like the first half of it a lot more than I like the second half of it. But the other one that I think I like more than a lot of other people, I put this on pretty often. Number 5, I think this is probably one of my most controversial picks. I have Changes. And I just really like this album. And this is one that, like, people's hatred of it confuses me a little bit more. Like, I can kind of see it, and I honestly feel like a lot of it kind of stems from where the Monkees were at in this period when this came out, and how it just, was basically just a contractual obligation type of album. But I mean, there are a lot of contractual obligation albums that I think end up being pretty good under the circumstances. Like, I would put this up with like Moby Grape's Truly Fine Citizen, of like a pretty good album from a band in kind of a bad circumstance that like people just kind of dismiss because of what was going on around it. But I don't know, I hear people say that they sound like they're kind of phoning in the performances and stuff on this, and I don't know, I don't really get that from it. I think that they sound really good on here, Mickey and Davey's vocals, and I think the tracks are well played by the session musicians and stuff, and I think they're good songs. So I don't know, to me this is just an album that, like, it doesn't I don't think it's like a great album, but I think it's a good album that, like, I can pretty much put on anytime and kind of relax to and enjoy. So yeah, I don't know, I really like this album. Number 4, I have the Birds, Bees, and the Monkees, and this one, I don't know, I like this one a lot. It's I might have put this lower at one point, but I think that this is one that, like, I'm pretty happy with it being in this spot, and pretty sure it probably wouldn't, like, move too much if I did another ranking. So number 3, I have Good Times, and this one, I feel a little conflicted about putting this here, but really it just comes down to, like, the songs are really good, I think, like, all the way through. There's not really anything on it that I don't like. The biggest problem with this, I think, is just them being older and their voices, and obviously the stuff used to kind of fix their voices and stuff, which to me, it doesn't really bother me as much on this album as it does on some other albums. Like, I think their voices and the stuff like correcting it isn't as noticeable on here as it is, like, on the Beach Boys. What is it? That's Why God Made the Radio, which is another album from an older band. But yeah, I don't know. I do think that the production on here, even though like, you can tell it's a modern production, I don't hate it as much as I tend to hate a lot of modern productions. I think that the guy that produced it, Adam Schlesinger, did a good job. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I like this one, and I do think it deserves to be here, but um, I don't know. You almost feel like guilty about putting an older album over some, or a newer album over some of the older stuff. But I do think it's a really solid album. So my number 2 is Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, and Jones, Ltd. And this one, for a long time, this would have been my number 1, and it's just kind of recently that it's been overtaken by the number 1. But this really is just a great album. I like every song. It's got a really cool cover. Pretty much like everything about this album. And my number 1 is Headquarters. And yeah, it's just it's a great collection of songs. It's probably the second truest Monkees album, because they're mostly playing all of their stuff and writing their songs. Not quite as much as on Just Us, but enough that it's more than most of their other albums. And I don't know. I just think that it's a really great album, and it's not got any bad songs on it. So my number 1 is Headquarters.